Live from the Breaking News and Weather Authority, this is WEAU 13 News at 10.
Demonstrators across the country today called for stricter gun laws. More than 400 communities held March for Our Lives rallies, planned as sister rallies to the main call to action event in Washington, D.C. Cole Higgins has the latest on the marches and the renewed push in Congress for gun control. Democratic Senator Chris Murphy from Connecticut is the lead Democrat in bipartisan negotiations on gun control. Despite GOP opposition, Murphy says he believes there will be more than 10 Republicans supporting gun safety measures in the Senate. One Madison church took unwanted guns and transformed them into something new. With the city council expected to vote on a proposed water bottling facility soon, the city of Eau Claire is working to address community concerns about the project. To do that, the city offered community members tours of its water treatment plant today. Officials with the facility shared how water is filtered and how much water it can hold. They also gave information on how the proposed bottling plant could impact the city's current water supply. Utilities manager Lane Berg says the project is looking to use 155 million gallons of water a year.
We had a couple engineering firms that have done work out here. We reached out to them and they produced some technical memos for us that indicated that we could easily handle the additional capacity or demand, created by Niagara.
The proposal for the Niagara bottling plant is scheduled to be part of a public hearing Monday and then expected to be voted on at Tuesday's City Council meeting. A nonprofit aiming to recognize the sacrifice of veterans made a stop today in Eau Claire. Wreaths Across America is a national organization with a mobile education exhibit that travels the country. Don Queenie says the goal is to remember the fallen, honor those who served, and teach the next generation about the value of freedom. To commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War, veterans of that conflict who visited the exhibit received a challenge coin and other items thanking them for their service. Queenie says he hopes people who visit the exhibit will better understand the nonprofit's mission.
The biggest takeaway from coming and visiting the mobile education exhibit, I think, would be a greater understanding of what we're trying to achieve. And what we're trying to achieve is a heightened level of patriotism, a heightened level of education for the youth.
December 17th is National Wreaths Across America Day. Every December, the group places wreaths on veterans' graves. Queenie says last year they put out 2.4 million, and they expect to place even more than that this December. Coming up in Sports Scene 13, Eau Claire Memorial Girls Soccer looks to punch its ticket to state. First, a festival returns to Chippewa Falls for the first time in more than a decade. An annual Pride Festival returned to Phoenix Park today in Eau Claire. The Chippewa Valley Pride Festival had yoga and Zumba classes, performances, and more. Jason Bennett with the Chippewa Valley LGBTQ+ Community Center is one of the organizers. He says it creates a space for people in the LGBTQ+ community to meet and embrace one another.
I think it's important to hold events like this to remind people that even if they feel like there aren't others out there, there are others out there, and there's a community that supports them from youth up through adult and elder.
There were organizations set up offering local resources for people who are part of the LGBTQ+ community. Bennett estimates around 1,000 people attended this year's event. After more than a decade, a Renaissance Festival is returning to Chippewa Falls. Today, Newborn Village opened its gates to those looking to take a step back in time. Held at Eagle Ridge Festival grounds, volunteers donned Renaissance-era clothing, with a few dressing up as magical creatures. With a variety of food, games, and entertainment, organizers say they wanted to create something fun for everyone.
Because we wanted to really give something back to the community. We wanted to give something back to people, which was to help them just be happy again and have a place where people would just be kind and have fun.
Rain or shine, the Renaissance Festival will be every Saturday and Sunday until July 3rd. Gates will be open from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Tickets range from $10 to $15, with proceeds going toward making sure the Ren Fair can become an annual event. Dry weather makes a return to close out the weekend, followed by a trend of warmer than average temperatures and increasing humidity this week. Meteorologist Derek Dahlman has a full look at your Skywarn 13 forecast coming up next.
We are looking at heat index values approaching the upper 90s, close to 100 degrees. That's what it's going to feel like out there. So Maria, it's certainly a good idea for those folks that work outside Tuesday. Take a lot of extra breaks, drink plenty of water, and definitely a good idea to stay in the AC all day if you can. I'm
with you on that. I think you're right. Thanks, Derek. Yep. Coming up next in Sports Scene 13, Old Abe's girls soccer sits one game from state as Memorial battles DePere in the sectional final. Plus, champions are crowned in UW-Madison as state softball has its championship weekend. I know I was hoping for a little bit more summer-like temperatures, but I don't think I quite am ready for 95 or high 90s.
Yeah, I think a gradual warm-up would have been nice, but we're just going right into the heart of summer on Tuesday. Now, before we get to that, temperatures tomorrow and even into the start of the work week.
Definitely the humidity and not the heat.
Yeah.
Thanks, Derek, and thank you for joining us. Have a great night.